as far as my marriage, I don't think it makes me a beta male if I don't know how to do something, or if my wife has experience in something. If I ask her how to do it and then I follow her, does that make me a beta male?
Yeah. First time call out of Chicago, Greg. Greg out of Chicago. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing this morning?
All is well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Good.
So I've been watching your show for like the last week, and Jesse Peterson, Savage Moments, where you talk about Maxine Waters and
Get a job.
Yeah.
Get a job is amazing.
Yeah. So my comment is, my question for you is, so you talk a lot about the beta man that's not the head over their wife and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely the head over my wife,
She obeys you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, but in a situation where, the way I think about it is, a great leader knows when to defer to his co-counselor, right? Like if I'm a coach and, I got 5 people on a basketball team, and I know I got one person that's really good at shooting threes, I'm not going to ask that person that shoots threes to dunk the basketball. I'm going to ask them to shoot a three-pointer, right?
If a person is dumping threes, you're going to ask that person, you say?
Yeah.
About how to do that?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
okay.
I mean,
yeah.
So, as far as my marriage, I don't think it makes me a beta male if I don't know how to do something, or if my wife has experience in something. If I ask her how to do it and then I follow her, does that make me a beta male?
Yeah. A man should never follow a woman.
How does that make sense, though, Jesse?
Because women were not created to lead. It is not in them to lead. So you should never follow her. Let's say that you need her to do something. You need her to, I don't know. You can ask her a question without following her.
Yeah. So the situation was, I always bought cars, from people with cash. I never needed to go to a dealership. Cash is king.
Right.
But now cash ain't king no more. Credit is king. So, I went to the dealership. I had my wife with me, and, I just wanted the car. But she was there. She had been to the dealership a couple of times before, bought cars. She's writing down everything that they saying and all this. I'm just looking at the monthly payment. I need my monthly payment to be under, $300. The rest of that stuff I don't really care too much about. But I'm glad that she was there and was writing the stuff down, because when we got to the next room, when we were, signing all the paperwork, and she's like, no, so how much is he going to pay over the lifetime of the loan? And it come to find out, I was paying an extra $10,000 from what they told me in the beginning. And if she wouldn't have been there, then I would have been paying an extra $10,000 in interest for something that I never would have had to. So in that situation, that don't make me a beta male. I think that makes me an alpha, and means that I selected the right woman, my helpmate, that's going to help me and make sure that I make the right decision.
But how would that cause you to follow her, though?
Because I'm following her lead when it came to what she told me to do.
But what she said was, according to what you just said, I think, is that the interest rate was higher, so you would have paid more on the car than what you realized, right?
Yeah.
And so why not just simply say, oh, that's cool, thank you, and without having the idea you need to follow her?
Well, I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily, I said, cool, thank you. But, I mean, I had to defer to her judgment because I didn't know.
But you didn't defer. It made sense when because I guess she added up the costs and see what everything was. And she said, well, you're going to end up paying more because the interest rate is so high and you're not realizing it. And if that made sense, then yeah, thank you. That's all it takes. It means you got to follow her.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, I think that the times have changed, and there's a lot of weak males, like you like to say. But how do we get away from that though? Because there's so many of them. I can't even have a conversation with most people because they think that women should be leading and all that crap like that. What do you do in those situations?
What you do is you just be the example of it. You tell them the truth about it, but don't impose on them. Men need to be born again of God. They need to return to their earthly fathers so they can overcome the spirit of their mothers. Their mothers have created them in her image when they were too young to defend themselves, and they hate their mothers and don't realize that's what it is. You point that out, but you can't make them accept it, and just let them suffer until they're ready to return to the Father. There's nothing you can do about it. But just point out they need to be, God said that there will come a day when I will return the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. And what he was talking about is that you must be born again of the Father. And the only way you're going to be born again of the Father is you got to see what your mother have done to you. You got to forgive her, and he will forgive you, and forgive your father for not protecting you from her. And then you would naturally grow in the image of God instead of the image of Satan, which is of the woman.
But doesn't it say that, I'm supposed to take care of my brothers and I'm supposed to uplift them because I'm the only boy and I've got 3 older sisters, and these women, man, it's hard. I can't even deal with them.
I know. Yeah. But you are uplifting them when you point them back to the Father. That's how you're uplifting them. You don't want to uplift their egos. You want to show them how to overcome the ego by pointing them back to the Father. Because the battle is a spiritual battle, and there's nothing that any human being, not even the person themselves, can do about it but return to the Father.
But they go to church every Sunday, Jesse, singing the church choir and all that stuff.
I know, but the preacher don't point them back to the Father. The preacher doesn't tell them they need to forgive their mothers. The preacher doesn't tell them they need to be born of the Father. So they just don't know it. That's why I'm telling you, have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Yes.
You went and forgave her?
Yeah.
And what did she...
had a
Go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead.
Well, yeah, because my parents got divorced, when I was 12 years old, and I had to go with my mother, and I told my father that I wanted to go with him. This was years later, and he said that he did what he thought was right. She put him on child support and, all that crap like that.
What a mess.
And, I hated her for a long time. But, maybe 6 years ago when I forgave her and, all those things like that and, prayed about it. And, my life has been amazing since then.
And so you told her you forgive her for turning away from your father?
Yeah.
And what did she say when you told her that?
She said that she thought that she was doing what was right because my father was, an alcoholic and, and stuff like that, but he always kept a job, though.
Right. That wasn't no reason for her to turn you away from your father. She didn't turn you away from your father because your father was alcoholic. She turned you away from your father because she hated him and she didn't want you to be with him.
And the money.
Yeah, and the money. Absolutely.
Yeah. So she did that, and a lot of older black women do that. They say the daddy ain't nothing and this and that, but you laid down and had a baby with this person.
Well, they hate men because their mothers have turned them away from their fathers. And so women hate all men because of their mothers, and men hate all women because of their mothers. And so that's why you must forgive and return to the Father so that your kids will have love coming from you instead of anger.
Now, where did you get this from, though?
Read the First of all, read Genesis how the fall happened when the woman listened to evil, to the devil, and the devil became her God, and the man listened to the woman, and the woman became his God. And then read the New Testament of how Christ came and bought us back, sacrificed for us by buying us back and giving us a way back. And the way back is salvation of the heart. You must forgive so that he can take the spirit of the woman away from you and give you back his spirit. And it's not her spirit per se, but it's the devil that dwells in her. Satan is the woman's God. Amazing, huh?
Yeah, it really is. I just stumbled onto your content, and I have been listening to you the last week, every day, all day, catching up on, the how you think about those liberals and those lesbians and Black Lives Matter and all those things. And I agree a lot of what you say.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
No.
We do this. You know about it?
No, I don't.
Okay, I want you to give it a try. www.silentprayer.video. I think that's what it is. Hold on a minute. www.silentprayer.video. And do your little hooping and hollering first. Oh, Lord, help me. Pray for mama. Oh, Jesus.
I don't go to church.
If ever I need you, Lord, I need you now. And do your little hooping and holler, and then be still and know God. Let me know what you think of the silent prayer, all right?
Okay, I will, Jesse. But I just want to say, I don't go to church.
Good.
Because, I've been to, a few places, around the world and stuff like that. And is there anything more beautiful than watching, a sunset or walking in the forest or, just being quiet and looking at nature? I've never seen anything like that, in a church. Well,
the kingdom of heaven, because I'm tired, let me just say this. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you, and you should look there for whatever you want, because everything you need, everything you want is already inside. Greg, thank you for your call, man. Call me again, all right? Let me know what you think about that.